What's up everyone? Today we're doing some metal art. It's another art episode. I'm super stoked. This one's gonna be interesting. This is one from my sketchbook I've had kicking around for about 6 months or so. Really excited to give it a shot on some stainless plate here. Basically, let's start from scratch. Let's draw it up on the plate and we'll go from there. Stick with me, this one's gonna be fun. Okay, finally, all the Dremel work and engraving is done. Just finished decontaminating it. I wiped it down with acetone. It's nice and clean, so I'm all ready to go. I'm gonna put the respirator on here, fans going to get some air in and out of the studio here. Let's start welding. Okay, so I did my first few passes on this piece. Something's definitely not right. I noticed right away I was getting some contamination even though I cleaned the hell out of this thing. I used lacquer, I wiped it down with a white cloth. Something's still up, so I'm gonna fuss around with it a bit here. I think the cylinder pressure on my regulator might be reading wrong, so I'm gonna do a gas check on my torch, see that I'm getting the proper gas flow I need, but I have a feeling that's the suspect. Okay, so I was right. My regulator wasn't reading totally correctly because the bottle was actually pretty empty. I've already been to the local supply shop, got a new bottle. It's all good. The passes that are kind of messed up on the plate, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna fix them, I can buff them and redo them. It's all good. Ready to get back into it, so let's go. Okay, so I did it. I made it through all those weld passes without missing any lines or welding on the wrong side of a line. It took me a while, but I'm really stoked with how it turned out. So I was a little worried about a few passes there. I fixed the kind of gross stuff from earlier when I had a little gas problem, but it's all good. I'm really happy with it. So I've done all the arc dots for the grid. I wanted it to look like a little matrix pattern or something like that behind this stuff that you're seeing here so far. So I've already got that done. I have more of it to go up here, and then it's gonna break apart and become a little more random and then start to form the face. So that's what I'm gonna do next. So I just wanted to make sure I got all of this stuff super straight and as perfect as possible. Lay this guy out here so I can get the size and spacing of all the little dots equal and consistent, but everything's looking good so far. So I'm gonna bounce back over to the other side of the plate. I'm gonna do the rest of the dots and start to work on the face. Then I should be able to cut it off the plate here and we'll start painting. I'm really excited for that. Here we go. Boom. Okay, welding is complete now. I'm really happy with it. This one came out pretty good, pretty much the way I was kind of imagining it in my head. I'm tempted to mess with it a little more, add a few details, tweak a few things, but it's a bad habit of mine. I overwork things a little too much, so this is me for the first time. I'm gonna phone it in on this one. We're good, I'm happy with it, so I'm gonna cut it off the backing plate, clean it up, and let's get ready to paint. So it was at this point here, I actually started to realize how long this procedure was going to take me. In my mind, it was a really good idea, but after doing this for a few minutes, I realized this is going to take me forever. The problem is I really like the way that this technique was turning out. As you can see in this time lapse here, it actually was turning out pretty awesome. However, this time lapse is over the span of almost an hour, so this took me a very long time. So in the future, I'm going to have to reconsider how I want to do this technique because I really like the effect it got me. All right, so there we go, it's all done. I'm pretty stoked on this one. I gotta say that the welding was the easiest part of this one, surprisingly, because the paint was nothing but a fight the entire time. None of the paint was turning out the way I wanted it to. It was kind of just something I had to accept as I went and just roll with the punches. Overall, I'm really stoked with how it turned out. Really happy with the grid pattern and all the small detail I put into this one. It took a very long time, especially with erasing the dots and trying to bring them back out from underneath the paint. That was so tedious. This was by far the most tedious painting I've done on a piece. I almost lost my mind several times, but pulled through, got it done. I'm super stoked. I hope everyone out there digs it. If you do, let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate anybody for watching. Have a good one. Peace.